We are now joined by musician Tatiana Moroz. She has many songs that are politically themed, and she's an activist in the liberty movement. Tatiana, thank you so much for joining us here on InfoWars Nightly News.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Now, Tatiana, tell the public a little bit about yourself when it comes to music.
When it comes to music, I've been singing and playing guitar, especially singing, ever since I was a little girl. And I came to the liberty movement because I felt that the music today was not really reflecting what was going on. And when I was growing up, I listened to a lot of different protest music, and I was reading 1984 and Brave New World, and I was really interested in creating a different system in the world that would be better for the people at large. So unfortunately, the music scene has sort of died out and has a lot of, processed, crappy music. And I thought that with the liberty movement, it was a really inspiring thing to write about, and it's a good way to get the message out.
Now, what are some of the issues that your songs focus on?
Well, I'm obviously anti-war. So I have some songs that focus on, there's a song, Playing the Cards, that's about the results from war and, the long-term results as well, and spanning over different generations. My first libertarian song, which I just did a video for with Luke Radowski, is Make a YouTube Video, which was about getting people involved, getting online, and doing your own research, and then telling your friends about what you've learned.
Now, what are some political issues that concern you the most?
Ending the Fed seems like one of the #1. I mean, if they have controlled the money, then that's going to be a problem for the rest of us. So until we get our money back, that we're not going to be able to do very much. So basically, yeah, anti-war and good sound money and free markets.
Okay. Now, you were a huge Ron Paul supporter, as we all were, but unfortunately, his political career is over. Are there any other candidates on the scene in the liberty movement that excite you?
Well, there are quite a few of them. Justin Amash, everybody's really excited about. But, when I think about liberty candidates, I go to libertycandidates.com. I think it's a really good resource for people to find people that are local. And because I don't know if you can always do it on a national level, I'm not sure that that solution is going to be found there.
Now, you were telling me a little bit earlier, and just to remind the public, Tatiana will be performing in a couple of minutes for us, but you were telling me a little bit earlier that you also have another endeavor called Same Side Entertainment. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, well, Same Side Entertainment, I'm really excited about. Last year, when things were winding down with the Ron Paul campaign, I wrote a song called Same Side, which I'm going to be performing a little bit later. And the message is to show, stop the bickering. We're all on the same side. Let's focus on what's important here. And I noticed that events around the country were having various levels of attendance, and it was very stressful for the event holders. So while I was booking shows for myself, I figured, why not book shows for all these other amazing speakers, comedians, musicians, economists. And that's how Same Side Entertainment was born. So it's basically an event company that you can come to us if you want to book anybody from Tom Woods to Bob Murphy to Luke Radowski or Adam Kokesh, and also Jordan Page, other different libertarian musicians, and people who are basically socially conscious.
Oh, it's amazing. Get everyone under one umbrella.
Exactly. It's really stressful to do those events, so I think it should be a very good resource for everybody, and we just launched it, so we're very excited.
Well, that's good. Now, tell us about some of the things, the positive things that you've seen take place as a result of your music and also, the music of other liberty-minded musicians.
I think that music is one of the most powerful forces in the world, and I think that's been exemplified with the connection that I have with my fans, and it's been incredible. I mean, people write me these really sweet letters, and they come up to me after shows, and they say, oh, I've been listening to you, and there's nothing more fulfilling than being able to connect with people, and also be appreciated, and I appreciate them, so it's been really cool, and I think that it opens up a way that people can relate to their friends and family, too, through the music. The family will listen to me. They're like, oh, that sounds good. And then maybe they'll be a little bit more open to having further political discussions.
Yeah, we just touched on it right now. Has your music been able to sway anyone's opinion? Like, have you ever been at an event where you're performing and someone's completely not political and then they hear your music and they say, hey, tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I would say so, definitely. Even at ISFLC, I was speaking with somebody who wasn't really into the movement, but he had heard my songs, and he was a little bit more open to hearing some of the ideas. So I think it's just, there's so many different ways to open people up and to wake them up, so I'm just trying to come up with my version, and there's other people doing it their way as well.
Now, you mentioned that earlier, I mean, you're a huge fan of InfoWars.
Yeah, big time.
Tell us a little bit about what InfoWars means to you and what type of impact InfoWars is having out there in the public. And I just say this because we're a little bit insulated here, you know, but it's important to know you reached out to us. You said you're a huge fan of InfoWars. Tell us a little bit about what InfoWars means to you and the impact that it's having nationwide.
Well, I think that InfoWars is huge, you know, and I think it wakes up a lot of different people. Sometimes the style is a little bit intense for people, and I'm one of those people. Not every report is 100% the way that I want to do it, but I'm in awe of how many people are getting woken up and how many people are being reached through this medium, and the information is solid. And I think sometimes you really need to shake people out of their stupor in order to get them to wake up. So I think it's doing the right thing. Yeah, and leading the way in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and one great way to get the message out is through music, through entertainment. We have something called a Paul Revere competition right now, a contest, where filmmakers are being encouraged to send in a film and they can win $100,000. But
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, the importance that the arts can have on the liberty movement is intense. It's not just about going out there and having rallies, but also performing, such as what you're doing.
Absolutely. I think that, you know, it's not a coincidence that on mainstream radio you're not hearing any anti-war songs. Back in the 60s and the 70s, they had a ton of music like that. So it's up to us and the independent media. We have to kind of create our own little world, our own community, which seems to be working and seems to be growing as an alternative to mainstream programming, literally programming.
Lastly, what's the vibe out there in the music scene? I mean, do other musicians welcome what you're doing? Do record labels welcome what you're doing when you make them aware of what you do?
I think that sometimes people are filled with good intentions, especially in the arts community, but I don't think that they know the answers. So I think that when people hear Ron Paul, they run screaming into the night saying, Republican, I don't understand. I only like Democrats. But I think that if you explain things to people, you can definitely open them up to it. So I don't know if the mainstream is really ready for this message, but I hope that they are, and that's the objective.
Well, Tatiana, in the 2 minutes we have left, is there any last thing you'd like to let the public know?
Support liberty people. You know, I mean, Ron Paul is gone now, but it's up to all of us. So I think that I'd really like to see people to continue to be active. You know, there's so many great causes out there that you don't have to give all your paycheck to Ron Paul and his campaign. You can give out a little bit here and there, and I think that to support our own community is really important.
Okay, well, Tatiana, thank you so much, and we're excited to watch you perform.
Oh, I'm excited to do so.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tatiana, and hold on tight. Stick around for one more minute. We're going to clear the stage right here, and when you come back, Mrs. Moroz is going to be performing for you.